Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded, episode 18 on the 18th. So you know this is going to be a crazy show. There's a lot going on. Eric, Ron, thanks for joining.
Is the moon full?
It might be. I don't know. We got a lot going on the back end, on the front end. I don't know what's going on, but we got a lot to cover tonight. Let's start off with our leadoff story. So Kemba Walker had requested a trade. Brad Stevens, in his first move, has granted that trade. He is sending him to Oklahoma City for Al Horford, Moses Brown, a 2013 pick in the second round. We also gave up for Walker a first round this year in the draft. I think it's number 16. Overall, what do you feel?
I feel sick to my stomach. Okay, he's getting the best player out of the deal.
I believe you said who getting the best player. I mean, Kemba Walker, if you realize, he only played 43 games last year for the C's. And then you think about it, he couldn't do back-to-backs. So I'm not 100% sure that it's even a bad deal. They save about $20 million on the cap.
Why are we giving up the first-round pick for this?
I think that's so they inherit that extra $20 million. That was kind of probably what that ultimately cost them, was a first-round pick.
This trade absolutely sucks. Yes, I like the fact that they're getting rid of Kemba Walker. I don't like the fact that they're giving up a first-round pick just so somebody can take.
I mean, I think they had to do it. It just made sense.
Difficulties again. I don't even know. We're gonna have to bear with it.
All right. I mean, I think overall this trade ultimately, if you look at one factor, I mean, it gets rid of a player who wasn't really playing for you. Al Horford, they don't need him consistently. This kid, Moses Brown, as I looked at the numbers, he averaged 8 points, almost 9 rebounds, and 1 block a game last season with Oklahoma City. So you're getting at least a defensive guy. He's 7'2", 245. So from a center standpoint, they've been lacking size in Boston. This gives them that size, that piece.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to have to see it all play out. And I shouldn't even really complain because I don't think the 16th pick overall is going to even, and especially when you're Boston and you're going to be looking to get that one player that you want to sign. So I guess it really doesn't matter about the pick. I just hate giving up the better player and the first round pick.
Yeah, I think, again, money-wise, and then if you look at what we've drafted recently in the teens, I mean, they're really not contributing factors. So I don't think it makes sense. I'd like to see, honestly, what I think this team needs is, and I don't see it happening just because financially I don't think they can pull it off, but Chris Paul is a free agent. I think once his run's over with Phoenix, I mean, if you think about a leader and a veteran that could probably get Tatum and Brown under control, that's the guy.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't know if that's going to happen. I got a feeling that the Lakers are going to do something next year, and it could be Chris Paul. So I'd be a little more concerned that he goes there. But, I mean, it doesn't have to be the best player available. It can be another guy like a Jaylen Brown.
So this is where I started to question a lot of what's going on, though. If you look at, they had Horford, he wanted out originally. Hayward, he wanted out. Kyrie Irving wanted out. Now Kemba Walker wanted out. There's something going on behind the scenes with Tatum and Brown that we probably don't realize that's causing all these players, these veteran players, not to want to stick around. I think they need a superstar veteran player who's not going to be intimidated by them. And you know what I mean? A Chris Paul, a Damian Lillard trade. That's the only things I think would make sense for this team to actually have a championship, run, maybe be in contention in the East.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then you would think that one of them would have been traded, at some point. So this is why I'm not happy to see, Ainge gone and replaced, by Brad Stevens, because all you the same thing over again. It's going to be the same thing. So if it's Tatum and Brown or one of the two, then why are we holding on to them? And why aren't we just moving forward and trying to get players in here that are going to be capable, like a Chris Paul, like a Lillard. Like, these are players that you would want to see one or both of those players come to Boston. And if Tatum and Brown are a problem, then you can trade those two away.
Yeah, if you look at the common factor, I find it funny as I started to think about it. That's 5 veteran players that has to get out of Boston. They were supposed to be that third. They were all supposed to be that third piece, like that third superstar to go along with the two of them, and somehow all of them have asked to get out of Boston.
Right, but I discount Kyrie Irving because, let's just face it, he's just toxic no matter what he does.
Yeah.
So I discredit him, but Walker, hey, these guys all didn't have that baggage that came, and that seems to be a big problem, because we're starting to look at Boston and saying, well, what is the Tatum? Is it Brown? And it's going to be hard to get another player if that's.
All right, let's move on to the NBA. Currently there's 2 number 1 seeds. They're actually both playing tonight, and they're both down 3-2 in the series. Of the 2 teams, which one do you think should be most concerned about getting knocked off?
Utah. Utah should be very concerned.
With no Kawhi Leonard. I'm looking more at Philly, thinking about what Philly did and blew two big leads. They were up almost 20-something points on Atlanta the last game, and Atlanta came back and won that game by 3.
Yeah, I know. I was
and Philly was at home,
game, and I shut it off because.
Yeah. So think about this. What was the reason why the Clippers got rid of Doc Rivers? Underperformed in the playoffs. His team's always choked in the playoffs. Philly's doing the same thing right now. I'd be more concerned if I was a 76ers fan right now, and my team, who clearly is a better team, should have won this. Ben Simmons is doing nothing for him. Joel Embiid is still hurt. I mean, Utah, you're right. They should be concerned. Mitchell and Conley possibly may not play, but I could see Utah.
No, because it looks like both of them are going to be eliminated.
Yes,
that's the way it looks to me. And you hit the nail right on the head with that. Doc Rivers. I mean, he brought 1 championship to Boston,
and that was it. And they lost to the Lakers in the second.
Been more.
Yeah. And the Clippers, he had great teams with the Clippers. They underperformed. I mean, he had a great regular season again with Philly, and now here we go again. And I love Doc. I think he's a great coach. I just don't know if he's a playoff coach. Yeah. I would start to question that. We
Yeah,
did do a
I
Facebook
would
poll.
too.
We did a Facebook poll, and 58% of the fans said that Utah is going to win that series. So they still feel like Utah is the team to beat in that against the Clippers.
I think they're both going down, and it's really not a surprise because I don't think either team should have been the number 1 seed.
What about the Milwaukee Bucks? They've just tied the series up 3-3 last night against Brooklyn. Which team wins Game 7 tomorrow night? And realize Brooklyn's at home, and none of the home teams have lost yet, even in the regular season.
All right, so who's not playing for the Nets?
Kyrie.
Kyrie's not playing.
That's Harden's
Um,
definitely playing.
the Nets are winning.
Okay.
Nets are winning.
There's one key I'm looking at. If Middleton can help Giannis, I think the Bucks can win that game. If Middleton,
capable.
But we got to look at Harden. Also needs to be. They can't expect 49 points again from Durant in Brooklyn.
They can't.
Harden has. I'd be surprised. I mean, he had, if you look at it, an all-time, career playoff game in the history of the NBA. You can't expect him to do it again. Harden has to be that second piece and not just a decoy. I mean, he started to play better last night again, but he's still not the same Harden. If he doesn't contribute, I could still see Milwaukee winning this.
Well, believe me, I would love Milwaukee to win this. I would not mind being wrong about Brooklyn. That would be great. But the factor of the matter is Kevin Durant can put up 50. Those two guys can win a game just with them two. And
I mean, it'll be.
I don't see them losing.
It was that series. This is the series we said wanted to go 7. We got that. On our Facebook poll, 64% of the fans said that they believe the Bucks will win.
I think that's people wishing.
Let's move on to Phoenix, who's actually waiting for the winner of the Utah Clippers matchup. But they did come up with some news. So Chris Paul has entered the COVID-19 protocol. Do you feel this could hurt them? I mean, if it goes 7, the first game probably not going to be till Tuesday. So there's a chance he may still be back by the time they actually have to play.
This is difficult because if other players also get it, they could be in serious trouble. I think if they can get away with it with 1 or 2 games, but if it starts going into 3, 4, 5 games, there's no way that they're not going to do anything without Chris Paul being there.
I mean, Chris Paul averaging 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists a game. I mean, he is clearly the leader.
Yeah. Without him, they'll be in trouble. And either the Clippers or the Jazz will take advantage of that.
So hopefully he's back sooner than later. Again, it's just an unfortunate situation that obviously he had. Dan, I think Dan wants the Nets to win. Let's move on to some NHL. My hockey guy. A lot going on in hockey. What about Tampa Bay versus the Islanders? Tampa Bay's up 2-1. Game 4 is this Saturday. I'm going to hack his name, but Valesky? Is that the goaltender for Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Not even close.
It's close enough.
We talked about goaltending being the key in the playoffs. In hockey, he's the number 1 save percent goalie right now in hockey in the playoffs. Can the Islanders get by him? I mean, I know this is going to be painful, but they were down 2-1 to the Bruins and won 3 straight. Can the Islanders do it again?
Well, is the Tampa Bay coach going to put in an injured goaltender? No. No. Look, I mean, I thought that the winner of the Bruins Islanders series would go to the Stanley Cup. But like game 4 and 5, just Islanders, and he gave up rebounds, and the Bruins did not capitalize. They're capitalizing, and they're getting much better going, with Vasilevsky. So, look, I mean, the player just blown up as far as who and Final Four. Everything is crazy. So you never know who's going to come up, and it's proving it on the side with Montreal and Las Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Which we
tied
saw
1-1.
Neither team, but yet Montreal. Look, I hate Montreal, and they're no secret, But I got to give them credit for still being in this. How they are in this, 1-1 against Las Vegas. Come playoff time, it's a different season, and you get that goaltender, like we keep talking about. Price is playing unbelievable.
Price, he's number 2 in the playoffs, 93 save percent, and then Fleury is 92%, number 3. So the top 3 goaltenders are still in the playoffs currently.
Yeah, and it's more than just the goaltender, but looking at Montreal, I mean, clearly Price. If Montreal happens to win the Stanley Cup, which I like, he will get the playoff MVP, because there's nobody else that's doing.
So who wins? Who wins? Tampa Bay Islanders.
The way I'm seeing it right now, Tampa Bay, but I don't discount Islanders, and it would not surprise me that if they go to the Stanley Cup, like I said, that the winner of that series. So,
and what about Vegas, Montreal?
Vegas.
Who do you got?
Vegas.
Vegas. I got Vegas in 7. I think it goes 7 though. I think Montreal's just a scrappy team. They've been scrappy all these playoffs.
Well. I cannot believe it. I can't believe they're playing with this well.
So 65% of the fans said that the New York Islanders will win that series. So they feel like you do, that there's a good chance that the Islanders come back and do what they did to the Bruins. I just had to throw that jab in.
They could. It's not, I don't hate the Islanders. I know. I've actually always liked them, and they're a carbon copy of what the Bruins is. What the Bruins are for the most part. I think the Bruins had more talent; they squandered it. But but that's comes down to coaching too. Barry Trotz.
Tell Ron, Claude Julien. That's Dan. Claude Julien, bring him back.
No. I don't know where they go from here.
All right.
They're obviously staying with Bruce Cassidy, but it's a mistake.
What about Tuukka? I know we discussed it last week, but still against the Tuukka coming back.
Send them off. Use that money to sign all the free agents that they have. Because you got Swayman.
All right, let's talk some NFL. And Stephon Gilmore did not attend the Patriots' mandatory training camp. Should the New England Patriots look at trading Stephon Gilmore?
I remember this coming up a while back. And I said no, but that was before he wanted to go. Soon as a player wants to get out, you need to get rid of him. It's simple as that. Because you can't keep a
but I don't
guy
know
that
if he
doesn't want
wants.
to be there.
But I don't think he wants to get out. He wants to get paid. So ultimately, if they talk money, and they're able to work a contract, he definitely stay. I'm sure that's not the problem. To make $7 million is one of the top cornerbacks in the league. Obviously, is not going to be enough for him, and I don't blame him on that part of it. I just don't know if he's worth, a $15 to $20 million a year contract.
Well, no, no, I wouldn't pay him that much. And there's no
he's
reason
30 years
for it.
old. 30 years old, had one interception last season, 37 tackles. He had a few injuries, and then he didn't even finish last season. He had the injuries.
Yeah. Look, I'm not giving him. What is he making now?
$7 million this year.
And he wants double? Is that what he wants?
I would assume he wants, it's got to be, because he wants to be in one of the top paid cornerbacks in the league.
I wouldn't give him double.
So 56% of our Facebook poll said that yes, that the New England Patriots should trade him. I think it's the best move for him. Again, we talked about it in the past. The ceiling is higher right now for him to possibly get at least a second rounder. I would take that.
Yeah, maybe you do a swap for a guy that's up and coming.
Again, they re-signed J.C. Jackson. He's going to be a number one corner.
Didn't they just sign the corner this year?
Well, they re-signed J.C. Jackson, who is their corner.
They signed one. Look, I would love to have two great corners, but at what expense? Like, do you want to disrupt the whole team because somebody wants to go get paid? Belichick will just won't trade him just for spite.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Butler back.
Once again, if you're joining us, we are live. We're on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Follow us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter. On Twitter at BroadcastingRI. Instagram, Sports_Unfolded, which I am running live right now currently. And podcasts on Spotify, Anchored, and Google. All right, some great discussions. We got our new segment. Every other team does that. Wake up. Dan really wants to keep Gilmore. So, Our triple play today.
I do too, but I wouldn't pay him that much.
Yeah. Our triple play. So Madden 22 released that cover, and it featured Brady and Mahomes, and they're calling it the MVP edition. But it doesn't currently have last season's MVP on the cover, which was Aaron Rodgers. So of the three players, which one are you going to start, bench, and cut? Brady, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so first off, it's on the cover of Madden. So we know that both Brady and Mahomes are doomed this year.
Pretty much getting hurt. That curse is over now. I think they got over it.
Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play. So let's go with nobody.
Wow.
No, look. This is tough because, well, first of all, I'm not going to have Rodgers there because he might not even play this year. So maybe he'll come to New England. But look, right now, Mahomes would be the option to start because of his talent. But I'm starting Tom Brady because if it's from beginning to end of the season, I'm going with Tom Brady because Tom Brady gets it done. He gets it done.
Rodgers cut now. Wow, Dan wants Rodgers cut. So nobody's going to like mine then because I've got Mahomes. Mahomes is my starter. I'm benching Aaron Rodgers, and I'm cutting Tom Brady.
My Lord.
And I'm cutting
Boy,
Tom Brady because of the
you
age.
are a disgruntled Patriot.
No.
You're a disgruntled Patriot fan.
I knew that. Listen, I am going to say that eventually Father Time's kicking in. I'd rather go with Mahomes. I think Rodgers still got 5 years. I'm not sure Brady's got 2.
He might not play this year.
He's going to play.
I don't know
He's
about
going to
that.
play.
I don't know.
Trade Mahomes. That's not the segment.
He just won.
That's not the segment. It's start, bench, cut, Dan. We can't trade anybody. Dan's adding another element. Trade. Let's trade someone. Let's move on to some Major League Baseball. And Major League Baseball, which we discussed last week, has finally ruled on the foreign substance debate with pitchers. They currently will serve a 10-game suspension with pay if they're caught cheating. Starting pitchers will be checked regularly during the game. A relief pitcher will be checked at least once during their outing. How do you feel?
I feel like the games are going to last 5 hours now. That's the way I feel. Look, I mean, we're in this position, just like going back to the steroids. We're in this position because of Major League Baseball. They don't know how to run the league. They don't know how. And we keep going back to these things over and over and over again. It's like when Pineda had the tar on his neck.
Yeah, neck. Yep.
How do you not get tossed out of the game earlier than that? It didn't matter to the Major Baseball whether he was doing it or not. It didn't matter because they didn't care when enough people stop pushing back. That's the only time they can. And this is a perfect example. I mean, at the beginning, the ball.
All right, you're breaking up there, Ron. I'll jump in real quick. Obviously, Major League Baseball, if you look at just from a standpoint of why did they decide to do this during the season and not wait till after the season was over, doesn't make much sense. They really should have looked at possibly, deciding this after maybe even an all-star break, at least giving the team some notice that after the all-star break. But how do you do it during the season, a couple of months in? Half of these pitches, are just going absolutely crazy trying to figure out how they're going to, come back from this. They still allow the batters to have pine tar on the bats, the batting gloves, give them extra grip. It doesn't make sense to me. I really think they should try to, come up with at least a better format of how they were going to make this decision. No more discussions that are unenforceable, right? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense for a fan who wants to be out there and wants to just see the teams play. There's so many different elements to this that just are not going well for Major League Baseball. And they really got to start to look at how they're going to be able to bounce back from this, because I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I just lost connection there for no idea what you just said. But,
so,
go ahead. It's a problem for Major League Baseball. It's a problem. And Richards, they were mentioning this on the Red Sox game the other night when Richards was playing. His spin rate during that game dropped down like over 100 for the spin rate. So you tell me what the problem is. So was he clearly using substances? And it's like that all across the league. So all these pitchers are doing this stuff.
But I think it runs into the same thing with steroids, though. 75% of the league was probably on steroids.
Right.
So is it a disadvantage? If all the pitchers are doing it and every team's doing it, it wasn't a big deal. That's why a lot of these managers didn't challenge question if a pitcher was doing it, because their guys were doing it as well.
Right.
So they shouldn't have enforced this now. Maybe go to the All-Star break, give it some time, then say, hey, after the All-Star break, this is going to be the rule. But how do you do it right now as the season's going?
Well, the funny thing is, this rule also you still can't bring somebody up in place of that player. That player still counts towards your roster. So if you get suspended, you have one less in your roster for 10 games. That is where it hurts.
And I think you mentioned it last week. I mean, it hurts the relief pitchers more than it does a starter. The starter misses 2 games or 2 starts. A relief pitcher can miss 5 to 6, maybe 7.
Right. And
that's a big difference.
Your bullpen, and then you start losing games, a lot of them, because when your bullpen gets tired, it's going to get sloppy, and then you're going to have players that are going to get shuffled up and down that still have, those teams that have players that don't have any options, and you're going to actually maybe release a player because of all this, especially if you have 1 or 2 pitchers that. So it's going to be a mess.
What I would say baseball, is this too,
and they put themselves in this position.
Let's look after Monday, and what we're going to do is we're going to monitor the batting averages and watch the batting average numbers go skyrocketing. And that's what Major League Baseball wanted. That's what they're going to get.
Yeah.
What time is it, Ron?
Pick and roll.
Pick and roll, baby. Pick and roll. So we had changed it up. Originally, we had said we were going to do the top 5 wide receiver duos. I'm going to wait a little closer to the season to do that. Why don't we talk a little bit of basketball, since basketball is still fresh on everyone's mind? And a lot of head coaching positions are available right now. So of these 7 teams, you're ranking them from 7 to 1. What's the best destination for a coach to want to go to? Boston, Indiana, New Orleans, Orlando, Portland, Washington, and Dallas. I'll go first. You went first last week?
I don't remember.
Is that correct? All right.
I have no, but go ahead.
All right. So at number 7, I went the Orlando Magic. I think they have the least amount of talent. They're definitely in a transition. They traded away their 2 best players, Vucevic and Gordon, this season. 21-51 last year. And I really think by the time that team's relevant, whatever coach they hire is going to be fired. So I would not want to go to Orlando. At number 6, I had the Washington Wizards. They went 34-38. Not sure if they're going to keep Bradley Beal. Some question on trading him. We've seen what the Westbrook effect has been on any team that he's been on, that they don't really do well. He puts up numbers, but he's not a player you build around. So if I'm a coach, I'm not excited about getting Russell Westbrook as my number 1 guy if Bradley Beal's gone. I'm not going to Washington. Number 5, I put New Orleans. So they've got some really good young talent with Zion and Ingram. But what I would say is this: there's already chirping going on from the Zion camp that he possibly wants to get out, that he's not happy in New Orleans. You got LaVar Ball.
Lamar. Is
right?
it Lamar?
Lamar Ball. He's a free agent. He's a big piece to what they do. They're in the West. I mean, to me, I just don't feel like if Zion's not there and committed, Ingram's not the best player, you lose Ball. I'm not going to New Orleans. Number 4, I put Portland. 42-30, probably have the most talent out of all these teams. But the key is now, is Damian Lillard going to want to stay with whatever coach that goes there? So if I'm the coach, I've got to convince my best player, my star player, to want to stay. I'm not sure I could do that based on, it's not just about me, it's about what talent they put around him. He may not want to stay. I like McCollum, but I don't feel like they're the best team if I'm a coach. At number 3, I put Indiana. Sabonis and Turner. I think they got two young stars. They're in the East. East is not difficult to at least make the playoffs. They were 6th in points per game, 2nd overall in assists. So they play team basketball. I just got to come in and make sure that they continue to do what they did already. And we're in the playoffs. As a coach, we're in the playoffs. Number 2, I have Dallas, 42-30. I love Luka. I need a supporting cast. I don't like the fact that you can see all the changeover. Donnie Nelson's out. Carlisle obviously is out. And a lot of that came from Luka not being happy with the organization. What's to say as a coach? That's my only concern is Luka going to want to kick me out to the curb after 3 or 4 years because he's not happy with the way I'm coaching? I'd be a little concerned with that. But he's one of the best young stars. If they can get me some talent, I feel like that's a very good team for me. At number 1, yes, Homer, Boston. But I feel like they've got the 2 best young talents with Brown and Tatum. The right coach gets the most out of them. I like the Horford pickup now. I think that's a veteran leader. But it's going to give me one key guy. I need one more key guy. A key point guard, Chris Paul. Somebody like that that's going to be able to keep these guys under control. And I feel I can win in the East with the Boston Celtics. That's my top. Boston.
Wow. We were so close on everything. Like, I shouldn't even have to read my list, to be honest with you. I'm going to have Orlando because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's really nothing there.
Yeah.
And I don't see them. I don't look at the ownership saying that they even care.
No, agreed.
Number 6, I have Washington. Look, this is a good team, but a bunch of players. They're going to lose a bunch of players this year. And no matter, it seems like how many good players there, nothing ever really comes about a team there. I don't know what it is. I think it might be cursed or something. I don't know what it is, but Washington never is enough of a team to do anything. Number 5, I had New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like, and for the same reasons, like you got guys that are going to leave and want to leave because they think that they're going to find a new home for like maybe in LA or New York or something because you want to make super teams.
Yeah.
Right. So, but these years are younger, so they need somebody else to initiate it. They can't do it themselves. So again, they're going to lose everybody. So who wants to go there right now? That's a rookie coach that needs to go. Number 4, I have Portland. Again, you know, it's a good team, but who's going to be there after the season? Are they going to, you know, squawk and want to get out? Like, look, from 4 down, I don't go because owners don't put enough money into the team. That's the case in Portland. Portland just had from top to bottom the other teams that are below. And
yeah,
so I don't actually take any of those jobs. The top 3 are the jobs number 3, I had Indiana. See, Eric?
Wow. Wow.
Again, Sabonis, you listed the players. Like that was the talk of Boston or Indiana was going to be the spot for a coach. And then Dallas threw their hat in the ring, and I have Dallas at number 2.
So we are dead even. We were exactly the same.
Dallas at number 2 because you have Luka.
Wow.
Like you have Luka, but you don't have much of anything else. You need some other talent, but I would want to coach Luka. I would want to coach him.
Agreed.
And number 1,
I think they need that second player too. Porzingis not the guy.
Right. So number 1, I have Boston because they have 2 pieces. They need one more piece, whether it's Chris Paul or trade, you know, or somebody, Zion, whoever. somebody want to get there and be that third guy because we know the East is wide open. Yes, you have Brooklyn. Yes, you have Milwaukee, but those teams can be beat. If you have a third guy in place, that would make a difference, but it does have to be a veteran.
So
we had
currently the coach
same list?
exactly the same, top to
Was
bottom.
it really?
Yes, exactly. Every single
funny.
one. That is crazy. What about
That's never
Sam
happened.
Cassell? Never. Sam Cassell is what they're talking right now, is probably the front runner.
I like that.
I like the move. I think that'd be a good move for Boston. I think he gets a little bit of fire under him. I think it's more about a different style than Brad Stevens. That nurturing is gone.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So let's see what they do. I'm kind of excited about this kid Moses Brown. I know a lot of people are not too excited, but if they can legitimately get this guy Robert Williams to stay healthy, they've got some big guys now that can actually contribute. If the coach can actually get them to mesh, they're a very good team. We've said it. Their problem wasn't talent. Their problem was heart. The right coach gets that team, they could possibly be in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, and you know, like how much have we talked about it through all these, both now, the Bruins and the Celtics?
Yeah.
And it just seemed like not
exactly. Once again,
having all kinds of issues.
Yeah, you are. You keep breaking up on me. Once again, if you're joining us, we're on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Follow us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, on Instagram, on Sports_Unfolded, and our podcasts on Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcasts. So a lot of different ways to watch here. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the live views out there tonight. Dan, thanks for joining us every week. One of our loyal fans. Always appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. Appreciate it. It's face-off time. So we've switched up the format a little bit on face-off. It's just kind of more of a shoot from the hip for 2 minutes. So this week's topic is going to be based on our old friend there, Mr. LeBron James. LeBron James stated that injuries this year are due more to the fact that the NBA came back with such a quick turnaround. So one of us has to be for this argument, and one of us has to be against it. Dan, if you are, who should be for agreeing with LeBron and who's against agreeing for LeBron?
Come on.
See if Dan can chime in.
Post that up there.
Any of our live viewers? Who's for it? Who's against? LeBron James stated that players are getting hurt due to the fact that the NBA came back on such a short leave.
So who's for? Who's for? Come on, let's go. We don't have all night.
Who knows how long Ron's going to be on before this thing breaks up again? Third.
Yeah, no kidding. Dan was taking it all time to type that, and he could have just answered.
All right, I'll let you pick.
Go on, Dan. You'll let me pick.
I'll let you pick.
Okay, so all right, so it's 4.
Ron agrees. You agree with LeBron. So you believe that the reason why there's so many injuries is because they came back too soon. Okay?
Okay, so me, who never has agreed with anything LeBron James has said.
Look at you. Turning over a new leaf. I love it.
Okay, all right. I'll go first.
Go.
Sure. All right. First of all, like the turnaround was so close that it didn't even have time for the bodies to heal. from a season that they had to stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. It is very taxing on the legs, the knees, and the back. Very taxing.
All right, so these are athletes, Ron, who perform. And how many times have they done? They've gone to the Olympics. They've gone to the Olympics, then come back and play. That's even less time than what they had this time. So you're talking about freak injuries that, I mean, Kyrie Irving landed on somebody's foot. That could happen anytime, anywhere, no matter how much rest. Kawhi Leonard bumps a knee with somebody else. I mean, these are just, normal injuries that happen while playing the game.
I can't even argue this. I can't even argue it.
So, I want to face
such
off.
A whiner.
I want it.
He's such a whiner. Look for an excuse for him losing and getting hurt. I cannot stomach LeBron James. I cannot stomach. Yeah, he's a great athlete when he wants to be. Like, he is such a cop-out for him, an excuse that he put out there because he couldn't get into a game because of his cramps in his back and his knees and his. You know what? I'm tired of the excuses. He built this team. Remember? He built this team.
So let's look at the guy he picked up, Anthony Davis. He wanted this guy. The guy hasn't played a full season. He's always hurt. I mean, it's not like this was a fluke thing. We expected him to get hurt. It's just part of Anthony Davis and who he is. I mean, Joel Embiid, he's been hurt several times. All these guys keep getting hurt. So it made no sense. All the guys that have been hurt usually are hurt.
World-class athletes complaining because their turnaround was too close. You're playing basketball. Give me a break. You're not building ships.
Think about this.
You're not putting up fires.
Think about this. Yeah, think about this. Kawhi Leonard, he took 20 games off during the season.
Yeah, right.
So it wasn't like he did load management. He still got hurt. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. It's part of the game.
Absolutely.
LeBron should have never said anything. That was the stupidest thing I think I've heard come out of somebody's mouth.
For a sport that is, in essence, a non-contact sport. If football players and hockey players and rugby players want to complain about that, fine, so be it. I understand. I get it. Basketball player, come on. I mean, you guys,
honestly, can I
play through?
LeBron is a bag of hot air. He's done. Hopefully, I don't think he's done yet, but it's close. It's close though.
Yeah, it is close.
How about this though? Let me tell you this. How lucky was he that AD got hurt, because that gave him more time to promote Space Jam 2. Right? I mean, the commercials are out now. I mean, he had time to do this. He should be thankful that AD got hurt, not complaining about it.
Nope. Oh, so, look, like I said, it's all an excuse. I remember this bald guy when he didn't win the championship in between those three. And for that,
I think I put him as the number one name athlete. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Like he lost, he basically blamed himself all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't do enough. I didn't play well. Okay, it's time to just face the music, LeBron. Face the music. You are not Jordan. Like, you are not even. I'm at the point where you're not Magic, you're not Bird, you're not Russell, you're not Kobe. You're an excuse maker. An excuse maker. And you've only managed to win when you build super teams.
You've heard it here first. Sports Unfolded. Ron going at LeBron.
Come at me, LeBron. Come at me.
Let's see if LeBron would actually come on and do an interview with us. What do you think? I highly doubt it.
Oh my God,
I would tell you this. He probably has an excuse.
Exactly what I think.
He'd have an excuse as to why he couldn't be here.
He's cramping.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's move on to our predictions and a few games to cover. So we got a lot of big games coming up. Tonight, couple of game sixes, really important. So we'll start off with the 76ers and the Hawks. Who wins it?
Oh, that's Atlanta. They're going to close it out tonight.
All right, I agree with you. I think Philly's a basket case. I think mentally they're a little messed up now. So,
yeah, they need to get a 40-point lead apparently.
Game 6 tonight, Jazz at Clippers.
It's at Clippers. Clippers are going to win tonight, and they're going to close it out.
All right, I'm going Jazz. This series going 7. I don't know if PG3, playoff Pete or what, payoff, whatever he calls himself, can do it again, back-to-back games. I don't see it happening. On Saturday, 6/19, we got Tampa Bay at the Islanders.
I'm going to go with New York.
4. They're going to tie it up.
They're going to tie it up.
All right, let's go a couple different ones today. I'm going the Lightning. I think they're the better team. I think we've talked about the Lightning all year, and I think it's their time. It's everyone's fault except LeBum. Oh, he just changed his name, Dan. I love it, LeBum. I lost Ron again. What is going on tonight? This is back-to-back shows with some technical difficulties. I do apologize. Just waiting for Ron to get back on here for me. Let's see. The Hawks. You got the Hawks. I like the Hawks. Think we agree on that one, Dan. The Hawks. Ron is back. Ron is back.
Yeah, I'm having all kinds of issues down here.
See that. All right. How about on Sunday? You got the Vegas Golden Knights at the Montreal Canadiens.
I'm going Vegas. I'm going Vegas.
I like it. I'm going with the hot goaltender. Going Montreal. We are going to have a bunch of points this one. Jazz. All right. So Dan so far agreeing with me completely. I like it. Yeah. What do you got for Tampa Bay? You got the Lightning or the Islanders, Dan? And let's look at Major League Baseball. We got big matchup in the West, the Dodgers at the Padres.
Oh, that's on the 21st. I'm gonna go Dodgers.
I like it. I think I'm gonna agree with you on that one. So we got we got 3 different ones. Tampa Bay. Think Dan's copying me tonight. He knows where the wins are. He knows where the winner is.
Because that's why he watches. Go with the heart.
You couldn't go with the Canadians, could you?
No, hell no.
If you enjoyed the show tonight, we got even more next week. We're going to obviously have more NBA, NHL playoff talk. So a lot of these series will be into the finals. So really excited about seeing where these matchups go. Our face-off next week. Are you ready for this one, Ron? Who's arguing this point? Are the Cowboys still America's team? That is going to be – one of us has to be for that.
Oh.
One of us has to be for that.
Oh, my God.
Like, come on. I don't know if I can argue that one.
Hey,
that might be another win.
Hey,
are you LeBroning this right now? Are you LeBroning this right now?
No.
I feel like you're LeBroning it. And our pick and roll next week. Best basketball movies. So we had a lot of fun with the baseball.
Wait.
We're going to see how we do with basketball. Basketball movies. Blue Chips.
We're going to do hockey movies.
It's coming. Your Slapshot's going to be the number 1 movie.
No, it's not.
No?
Maybe number 2.
Mighty Ducks?
No, come on. Come on. Give me some credit.
What would be the number 1 hockey movie? I'm curious.
Miracle.
Ah, Miracle. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
Slapshot wouldn't be number 2 either. So.
Wow. Okay. We'll have to look at hockey. Maybe once the season ends, we'll do hockey best movies.
Yeah. I've actually watched Miracle tonight because I thought
What?
of it.
I like it. Once again, if you're joining us, we are live on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Join us on social media at Facebook, at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, and our podcast on Spotify, Anchor, and Google. So many ways to watch us. Don't forget to check out our new show, The Wrestling Den with Rick Kenny, right? That's a great show. Loving that. Nick, right? They're all, I mean, just bringing some wrestling knowledge. That's on every Thursday night at 7 p.m. So tune into that on Sports Unfolded and then Rhode Island Broadcasting and YouTube, right? So really good opportunity if you want some wrestling out there, which some of our fans have requested. So that's the part of the Sports Unfolded family there. Once again, how we finish our show off. Dan is so confused. Dan, Eric 4. I don't even. Oh, is that for the Dallas Cowboys, Dan? I'm going to be 4. He's already calling it. I have to be 4 them still being America's team.
Good.
This is brutal.
I had to sit through LeBron, so it's only fair.
All right. I think I could do it. I think I could do it. So once again, how we usually finish our show off, we do a final thought. Our final thought could be about anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be sports related. You went first last week, Ron, so I'll go first this week. My final thought is actually about the cashier who was brutally killed in Atlanta. And, you know, it shocks me that the world is at this point where someone who has a disagreement based on the fact that that person was just doing their job and asking them to put a mask on, felt the need to go in, walk back into the store, and end up shooting him in the face. It's a tragedy on so many levels because it just shows that we have no compassion in this world anymore. If you have a disagreement, go to a different cashier. Ask for a manager. Why did death have to be the solution to that problem? I work in the retail business, and I'm fearful that, again, you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and who knows? It's not just a simple, hey, you know what? I don't like that policy. I'm walking out. I got a fear for my life, and it shouldn't be that way. Can people just learn to grow up and be more civil? It's all I really love to see that. I mean, it's just such a tragedy, but I don't know. I just don't understand it. And every time I hear these stories, it doesn't get any easier.
No, you're absolutely right. It seems like we have these issues. Apparently, you know, death and stuff is running rampant in the final thoughts. My is for the Denmark soccer player, which I believe his name was Eriksson. I can't remember the name, but I remember sitting in a restaurant having lunch, and the soccer game was on, and then all of a sudden a player just dropped, and they were trying to revive this player, and they were using like the paddles and everything to try to, you know, bring him back to life. And apparently he went 10 minutes before they could even revive him. Now, I say all this because of the fans' reactions in the crowd. They were wonderful. Even the opposing fans were all in tears. The players all in tears on both sides. And it was so nice to see the fans of the game react, because this is somebody that's been with them for years and years, and they're part of their lives. And too long ago, a Bruin, went down with an injury, and the crowd booed when he got back up and got taken out, of the game, and the fans booed. Like, how disrespectful of a fan are you? Now, I've been watching Bruins forever, and in Boston, no matter who the player is, when that player got up off the ice or got carted off the ice, the fans cheered for that player. So shame on fans that boo when the player gets up or is carted off. You should be ashamed. So I give Denmark a lot of credit for how they reacted to their own player, but more for Finland's fans that reacted for that Denmark fan.
No, great point. And again, that goes right back to what I was saying about compassion. You shouldn't want anybody to be injured. You shouldn't want anybody to die. And, again, as fans of sports, I personally would rather see my teams beat the best players on the other team and not that they got hurt and that's why we win. So in a competitive nature, let's just enjoy the games. And if somebody gets hurt, I mean, we should feel bad because it could be one of our players next time.
Correct.
But great point, Ron. Great show. Thank you. I know you had some technical difficulties. I appreciate you getting through them. Dan, thanks for joining and chiming in with all your messages. Now we got LeBum is our new nickname for LeBron, LeBum. And all our live viewers that were out there, thank you so much. Again, tune in Thursday night, 7 p.m. for the Wrestling Den. And thank you. Have a great night. Take care.